Welcome back. We just got dumped off of Facebook because we probably went too long. But we have Matt Leisen from Cleveland on the Rocks. And one of the things, Matt, you've been doing is representing Echo Spirits, correct?
Yes, sir. Echo Spirits all around the Cleveland area.
Right. And it's out of Columbus, and they do a lot of different type stuff. But at the same time, when you think when I'm thinking about Echo Spirits and everything and all the fun stuff that they're doing, they just recently had a break-in, correct?
We did.
And
somebody threw a brick through the front door.
But they didn't go in, did they?
I don't think so. I don't think anything was taken. I think they just broke through the front door. Somebody must have been mad. I don't know what happened.
Or did they have an alarm system that went off?
Most likely, I would say they do, because there's a lot of bottles in there, so I would assume they have an alarm system on there.
Yeah, I was thinking, if they were talking about, Joe was talking about how maybe someone was hungry or whatever, and I'm like, really? Breaking into a distillery if you're hungry? And I think Ann Dimmick posted, well, they could have been thirsty.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, but what do you have?
And this one's in a non-charred fresh oak barrel, so it's kind of different this year. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really looking forward to doing that. We have our small batch bourbon, which we always have, which is fantastic, 90 proof. It's a little over 4 years old, like the perfect product to everyday sip on. And then we have a rye. Our rye is fantastic. It's got undertones of spearmint on it. And that one's just kind of a good rye. You have our Engineer series, which is a different blend every time it comes out. There's a new sticker on each bottle. This one that we're on right now that I should be selling out of soon before we get into our next batch that comes out on December 3rd. This one's perfect. It goes perfect with Dark Maduro cigars. So I have this one set out for you when you come up here. We'll be drinking that, sipping on that, having a couple of cigars. Like, it'll be a blast.
You're gonna kill me with a Dark Maduro?
Well, actually, from what I've learned from the last time we had a cigar, I'm gonna get you a light, like maybe we'll have Rocky Patels or something. But
yeah, I'm all for that. That's the way we go, man. That threw me for a loop outside, man. That dark cigar, but also they're gonna be doing right on the one release they're gonna be donating all the proceeds to charity. The hunger. I believe the Hunger Task Force in Columbus, right?
Yeah, they did that after the break-in happened.
Right.
Which is really, really cool that Joe does that. Like, anytime something bad happens, then you come up and you do something so good for, like, the community around the area, that just shows the type of people you are. Like, he's such a good dude.
Oh, he is. And that is exactly what great people do, is that if something bad happens and you double it with something much better, that is karma right there. And I believe in karma like you wouldn't believe. It's just that just means good stuff's going to happen to them. So I mean, it's just like everybody needs to check out Echo Spirits in down in Columbus. And then if you're up in the Cleveland area, Matt, you're all over, right? You're doing tastings mostly. Is it Friday nights that you do the tastings at the stores?
I do some Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Actually, I have one tonight at the Giant Eagle in Strongsville, the Market District, the real big store.
Yeah.
I'll be in there from 4 to 6 tonight. If anybody wants to come up and grab you some Echo Spirits, we'll start your Saturday off perfect, man.
So when you do those tastings, let's just talk about it. I don't know how it works. I mean, I go to Giant Eagle and I'll see people doing the little tastings and everything. Do you get with the store manager right before and then set everything up, or how does that work? How does it work to actually do those tastings?
So you have to get an okay from the state, and then you have to have state paperwork and bring it into the store manager, and the store manager approves you to be there. and
Okay.
you come in with your paperwork, and you have your 2 hour time slot, and you set up. I bring in a table and everything, set up all our products, bring off stuff from the store, so I have it on the table. That way, if you try something, I have it right in my hand. You can feel free to walk up there, take your purchase home, go share it with your friends, and I'm sure they'll all be up at the store getting one here soon too. So it's a really, really fun time.
Well, also, like, let's take you 15 years ago. You probably wouldn't have been able to get approved.
No, I wouldn't have.
But now, now that you've done all this, man, it's like everybody, you want to meet Matt Leisen. He's definitely gets approved.
Oh yes, oh yeah, dude, I have a blast. People come in there and they've seen me before, or they'll see my posts online, and they'll come up, and it's just a good group of people that come up there. Let me tell you, and I meet so many new people like every day, pretty much. It's crazy. I have a hard time remembering names anymore. I kind of just say dude a lot.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, it takes a while, but it eventually the names kind of once you see people for a bunch of different times, it starts to set in. And just running, we run there's a lot of people who come up that there's no way I would know their name because they watch and they tell you they watched and then they tell you your name, but they've never met you before. So you never know what's going to happen that way. But I will tell you this, if you want to become part of the bourbon community, that is like, when you're a kid, you see people and you basically become who your friends are. You pick your friends, and the bad kids pick bad friends and the good kids pick good friends, right? But as you know, if you're picking friends in the bourbon community, the age span is anywhere between 18 or 21. Sorry, I'm back in the 80s of 21 and 70 or 80. I mean, you can meet people from like Jimmy Russell, in his 80s and whatever. And what it is all those people are just such good people that you're picking the greatest friends that you could ever pick, and they're going to take you in, and you're going to learn life lessons, right? Just straight across the board, how to become a better person. And that's kind of what the bourbon community does, and that's what I love about it.
Oh, you are absolutely correct, because there's always somebody there that you're going to learn something from, and you can maybe show them something about another bottle or this, and then you guys become friends. You guys all do the meetups and everything, and put together a big bourbon tasting, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, there's 50 people in my backyard and having a good time.
And everybody's got your back. If something happens, just like with Joe, people got his back. Everybody's got your back. And it's just like the same thing. They tell stories about how Heaven Hill burned to the ground and all the distilleries had their back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they got other people's backs. That's what the whole thing. And it's just such a great experience, and the communities it's so much fun, and it gives you reasons for hanging out, and it just it even makes your job that you do, you have your day job plus you're working the Echo thing, but it makes it all worthwhile because you know what you're working for. You're working for something. You're not just spinning your wheels.
Absolutely, man. It makes life worth living when you wake up, man. It's fun.
All right, so I'm at another Giant Eagle on the Strip, which sometimes this Giant Eagle will just surprise the crap out of you because nobody comes here.
I'm at another Giant Eagle too. They have some of the Babe Ruth white labels. They have Buffalo Trace, and that's about it behind the shelf here.
Well, I passed on the Buffalo Trace at the last place for the Old Man Winter, but I'm just gonna see what they got with everybody.
They have Blanton's Corazones here, which is kind of cool. Strana likes those. I have 3 of them at home though, so we're good on those.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I know how that goes.
Right.
Well, I'm sure, just like my wife, Di Serona, it's just like I get those, but it's not like I have to get very many of them. I buy her it for Christmas on a regular basis, and she's got like 4 backup bottles because they're
My buddy does the tastings for Di Serranos in the store, so every time he has an open bottle, he just drops it off at the house. So I never have to buy those.
That's a good one. because
my mom drinks those all the time. I do wine nights with my mom, and she absolutely loves those.
That's wonderful. Yep. All right. Yeah. So anyways, I will, I'm going to head in here, see what's going on, and then I'll probably finish this up. But it's good to talk to you this morning on this sunny. Is it sunny up by you? Sunny up by us.
It is actually pretty nice out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. And everybody, the big bourbon hunting weeks are coming ahead. This is just a little bit of the start off. It wasn't a big drop. There wasn't a lot of big drops, but there's stuff out there just on the shelf. So, all right. I will talk to you coming up. Thanks for being on.
Man.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Follow the instructions on the pin.
Hey Siri, call Super Nash.
One option is Superwash on Lincoln Way.
Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
call Super Nash.
One possibility I see is Super.
Okay, hey Siri, call Martin Nash.
Calling Martin Nash. Mobile.
We're going to see if we can get Super Nash on this morning. He is one of our bourbon hunters, and I'm going to tell him what I got. It's a little bit hot in here, so I'm just waiting. Hopefully he gives me hopefully we can get him on. Oh, hey Super Nash, you are live on YouTube.
All right.
Yeah, we're bourbon hunting this morning. And it's been a pretty good morning just for bourbon hunting.
Welcome everybody from YouTube.
Yeah.
From South Carolina.
Yeah. And beautiful 50-degree morning out here, sunny. I've been my Giant Eagle. I picked up your Mizunara, finished with toasted Mizunara oak cast. I picked up your Jula Play French oak also.
All right.
And then I picked up I got an Early Times, which was awesome. Buffalo Trace Early Times. And I picked myself up in Mizunara, but I picked up a rare breed that I can open on the podcast this Tuesday, because I'm not opening the one signed by Jimmy Russell and Jaretta. And then I got an Ancient Age. Ancient Age is back on the bottom shelf. Did it ever disappear by you guys?
No.
You still, we couldn't get Ancient Age here. It's still a limit one at $14.99. And then I picked up a Benchmark Top Floor, which is my favorite. It's like a total butterscotch bomb, right? And then and that was $12.99, whatever. And then
wow.
And then I went to Top Shelf and I got a fun bottle for all of us. And I picked this up at the festival. This was $199. It's the Old Man Winter from
oh wow.
Yep, 109 what?
That I'm going to include that in one of the samples.
Yeah, for sure. What the? Oh yeah, just include that in. Yeah, that's fine. And then and so this bottle was $159.99 only.
Oh wow.
So
good deal.
Yeah. So I just went, and now they released Buffalo Trace, and I was thinking of buying a Buffalo Trace because I think the fifth, the jug handle, was $27.99. I'm like, for the liter, the 1 liter.
What a deal.
Yeah, but I didn't get it because I don't need it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but a certain
awesome hunting.
Yeah, so I was just sitting outside this one more Giant Eagle here, and I'm going to head in, but I just wanted to touch base with you. You're one that has taught me how to Giant Eagle and bourbon hunt.
Oh, awesome. Glad you called me up.
Yeah, for sure. So you kind of hunted a little bit this week. Did you get anything?
No, I didn't hunt any this week.
You weren't stopping off any place?
No, I didn't have time.
All right. So, so what would be like in the last month, the best deal you found when you were out and about?
God, that's hard to say. Yeah, that's hard to say because I really hadn't picked up any bottles. Really,
Okay. So you just been working away, getting ready to come up for the Christmas party?
yeah, and I got such a back stock in the bourbon vault that I hadn't had to. So,
Well, I'm just thinking we're gonna do a nice top shelf benchmark in ancient age, for the cheaper bourbons, right?
yeah.
And then we just did the dark arts, but then we've got rare breed coming up, and then I got that early times because we just made bourbon balls out of them, and I need another bottle. But we should do early times. That's one of my favorite bottles. I think that's, since I've started, I think I bought 15. That's the 15th bottle of early times. The most out of any single bourbon I've ever purchased.
That is cool.
So that, and it's I believe, well, I can tell you what it was. The early times was $23.99. Can you go wrong for $24?
Absolutely not.
So my total, when I went in and got all the dark arts and everything, the 2 for you plus whatever, I'm thinking $500 total, right? Walking out. Yeah. My total walking out without the Old Man Winter was $337.53. That is for 6, I believe it was, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bottles, $337.53. Now, how is that even possible?
Wow. It's not definitely not possible down here in South Carolina.
You have to. That's one of the great things about bourbon hunting in Ohio. If it's there, you're just going to pay a reasonable price. There's a little bit more tax here because you can find some of the stuff. Like, for instance, I saw Heaven Hill bottled in bond 7-year. You know that one that they put out with the signature thing. In Wisconsin, it was $34.99. Here it was $44.99, so it was a $10 difference. But
okay,
so
still great prices.
Yeah, $44.99 was not bad, but $34.99. Actually, my friend picked one up. Steve picked one up that night when we were bourbon hunting. I didn't go live like I am today. I've been live all morning.
Cool.
All right, so
see, like in South Carolina, that. Bottled in bond, Heaven Hill bottled in bond 7-year.
Yeah.
Was like, it was like.
Nope, I did not lose it. All right. Yeah, so it's different across the country, and different places have different bourbons, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. It's like if you're in a different state, you always should check it out because what's in your state isn't always in some other state. For instance, I mean, what's happening in Chicago with what was happening with John Ritt yesterday was amazing. He picked up a Thomas Handy, a George T. Stagg, and what was the other one? It was crazy what he was able to get.
What was that? I forget what it was.
That was a successful day of bourbon hunting.
Absolutely.
Supposedly,
he got some great deals.
Supposedly, there was a bunch of people this week that got stag dropped here. So.
Oh, okay.
All right. Anyways, I gotta head in.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Good luck on the rest of your hunt.
All right.
Have a great day.
Yep. You too.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
It's Roxy. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. Where am I? I'm bourbon hunting.
Oh.
Live bourbon hunting.
Oh.
All morning.
Bye.
Wait, where are you?
Oh.
Well, did you text me you're coming home?
Long time ago.
Well, it's probably because I've been live on YouTube and not getting texts. Well,
nope, you're not getting text.
All right, I'm at the Giant Eagle on the strip. I'm just gonna go see what they got. But I've already got what I wanted, and I picked up the stuff that for Super Nash, and
cool. If you would have told me, I could have met you somewhere and gotten breakfast. I'm starving.
You're starving? Well, I'm still finishing up. Where do you want to go?
I don't know.
I'll meet you in a couple minutes. It's been a fun morning here bourbon hunting, and I just
Bourbon on the Bourbon Road.
right. I figured I'd try this out because whatever works
Yeah,
works, and
no.
it's live, and there's some stuff, and it's been, and I want to say hey to Kathy for saying hi. There's some people that come in.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah. Anyways, it's just like there's a lot of people, but when you're live on YouTube and we have 76,000 people, as you know, you get a lot of fun comments, but I've learned to ignore those, and the people who are there, have fun. But I talked to Matt. Me and Matt were talking about he was bourbon hunting, and I just got done with super.
Wait, I say all those haters can suck it.
Oh, it's like somebody's in a good mood this morning.
Yeah, I just brought a toddler into the world.
That's awesome. That's an awesome thing. All right. So just think, I'll meet you anyway. Now, if you're going to text me on the other phone than text me on the work phone. All right, bye. All right. That means I got a breakfast date. So let's just go in here and we'll finish up bourbon hunting. We are at another Giant Eagle. This is kind of how we do it here. Going in to see. Now this particular Giant Eagle is low key compared to the other one. It doesn't actually have a checkout counter. It just has stuff on the shelf. So it's kind of cool when you go in, you get to find. So we're walking in this morning. It's good to see everybody on YouTube joining us. We've been bourbon hunting all morning, so it's been a lot of fun. When you go around Ohio, Ohio owns, we already talked about this, they own all the liquor. The Giant Eagles and the agencies just basically put it out and get a commission off all the bottles that we're meeting at. We're gonna go to the Cracker Barrel on a Saturday morning and see what that's like. We're coming in. It's a lot of fun. There it is. We got the normal standard stuff, but let's see what they gotta say. Check out beer and wine. All right, let's look at that Fireball right outside. Got some Jameson. That's the thing. What else do we got? They're restocking. So same. If I see anything different, no. Maker's 101. Ooh, peach old fashioned. That's interesting. Penelope. Morning. Well, there's the Buffalo Trace right there, $27.99. Decent. They got a decent amount. Revival, they got the 10-year. And we're just looking if they got anything a little. They've got that's a deal for that. And Michter's. You're always just looking for a little bit something maybe that the other stores didn't have. You never know what you're going to catch. Now they might have, there's the Benchmark, JTS Brown, Wild Turkey, Long Branch, Rare Breed, same, if you look, it's the same price for the Wild Turkey. There's Sazerac Rye though, they do have that. That's a decent thing. You got the Willet Ryes. Once again, the Travelers, Old Forester, the Basil Hayden's with the little wraps. It's kind of cool. And then, but today, well, the big one was the Buffalo Trace was out. We've seen that around. Some are sold out. Some don't sell out at all. But there you go, folks. Nothing. Oh, they do have Garrison Brothers small batch. have not seen that. So that's a cool one. We just had Dan Garrison on. And then you got, you know, all the other stuff. You got the Crown Peach is the one that's going good. We were all talking about how much Crown was. Let's just see what regular Crown is. So we're talking about, the tariffs always come out, okay? But here we are. There is a Crown regular at $27 and $34.99. It was $36 and that was $29.99. So it's actually dropped $2. So everybody was trying to talk about the tariffs and all the stuff that was happening, and we're you know 6 months into that, and you can see pretty much all whiskey that had been up before it. For instance, Rare Breed had gone all the way to $49.99. There they got the regular Maker's Mark. Not a lot here today, which, you know, not always there's a lot, but you saw, I just wanted to check out this store. But we're actually seeing the opposite, and I don't care what anybody says. We are seeing the opposite in the market. We are starting to see prices drop. I know that before any tariffs and whatever, that the price of Rare Breed, when I first started, was $36.99 and had gone all the way to $49.99, and it's dropped down to $44.99. So all the predictions and all the freakouts that everybody goes through when you're bourbon hunting, you kind of see the reality. All you got to do is come out. And I'm starting to see the prices drop, which totally makes sense. Now, when it comes to the bourbon community and them talking about this, they made too much, and that there's going to be too much, and it's calming down. I disagree totally. It might, when it comes to all the distilleries and the new distilleries, you have to make the assumption they're coming from themselves. Now, they might have made a lot, but all we want to know that means everything goes on the shelf, and we can start to get the stuff nobody can get. Now, from the bourbon hunting standpoint of the collectors, this isn't the greatest thing. Collectors like to get what nobody else can get, and then some people in the secondary like to sell it for that. But if everybody starts getting it, the collectors are gonna kind of, when you're collecting and getting something that not necessarily everybody can get, there's a part of that in our generation that means something like that. So you're getting something other people can't get. Now, I told my wife to not text me on that phone, but she did. So I'm gonna text her on this one and say, okay. I'll meet you at the Cracker Barrel. I'm headed there now. If there's a wait, I'll put our names in. All right. So anyways, I'm going to, but from the consumer standpoint of the bourbon everyday, the bourbon drinker, something like me, why isn't it that 80% of the people who aren't collectors that just like to drink bourbon, why can't they have some of the nice stuff too? And then that's where that is. Now, from the standpoint of us people trying to get the allocated stuff and whatnot, for instance, where it's Elijah Craig toasted and cast strength is no longer an issue as far as allocated. So some of the things, larceny, they have larceny barrel proof is allocated, but today you saw it on the shelf. So what you're seeing is the everyday bourbon drinker gets to have a larceny barrel proof where everybody waiting in line just bought it all up and everything. So now that they're actually meeting that demand, which is awesome, they're cutting back on how much they're making, but they've been upping it. So all they're doing is plateauing, and they feel that they've reached the mark where they're going to be able to supply everybody the bourbon, and they just have to make enough bourbon to keep that going. So it's like, from a standpoint of a person who buys bourbon on a regular basis, or whiskey, you want them to have meet the supply and the demand, so the prices can go lower and be reasonable. I'm just going to ask you, I understand you get more age, but when you're buying top shelf benchmark, which is exactly the same exact mash bill, it costs exactly to make, not age, the exact amount of money to make as E.H. Taylor. They're the same. So it's just how long it's in the barrel. And if it's quality distillate, it's some damn good whiskey, and it's sitting at $12.99 for a fifth. Now, that's crazy. They stick it in the highest part of the rick house, the top shelf, where it's the hottest, and they stick it up there for 2 years, and that thing that evaporates out the stuff and gets it and has enough barrel releases. We were at the same time, and you were turning, so yes, I go first. Those actually, I can't wait to do this more often, like when I'm someplace else, because I know I just would love to do this in Chicago, or out of my comfort zone, just find stores and do this kind of thing. But overall, when the barrel, it does cost money, because the longer it's in the barrel, the more you lose, more whiskey you lose out of that barrel. So you have to take that into consideration. Plus, it has to be stored somewhere, and you got to store it in rick houses. So, when you're talking about the bulk of the stuff getting up to 7 years, it's got to sit in a 7-year rick house. So like a place like Bardstown Bourbon Company, for the last 7 years, they've been building rick house after rick house, but they're going to get to a point where they're not going to have to build. They're going to empty one and fill it again. And that's the goal. So they have enough so that they can keep that storage and keep stuff going 11, 12 years, but they got all the different rick houses to do it. And when a barrel's aged for 7 years opposed to 2, people have to be tasting it. You can't just put out a 2-year. You have to be tasting it for another 5 years to make sure that whiskey isn't, you're picking out the barrels that are going to be used for flavored whiskey. There's so many different things you can do, and that team, in that grand of a scale. Now, when I first got into this, the aging of the barrels, it was manual. They were writing it down. They were just starting to barcode it. Now, all of it's kept track electronically, and they know where their barrels are, how long they've been there, and they really can start to, like, Buffalo Trace is getting the most unbelievable research on aging barrels that you can imagine. And they basically made, like they used to, when they make Blanton's, there's the specific Blanton's warehouse that they do it in. Well, they've made 6 more of those. They put them at the same angle. They take temperature and humidity readings from the original one, and then they control the temperature in the other 6 to match exactly what's going on in those rick houses. So it's the coolest, gosh darn coolest thing, and being a part. So this morning we went to Giant Eagle at opening, went through there, got to meet my favorite cashier, and then we went to Top Shelf, got to meet Edith, and then we went to another Giant Eagle. But you got to see that when you go out bourbon hunting on a Saturday morning, you're gonna find some stuff, and you're gonna find some deals. And whiskey and bourbon is exciting because it's really starting to calm down as far as pricing and whatnot. So she took my parking space. But anyways, I just want to sign out, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this morning on this awesome bourbon adventure. Had a great time. My apartment looks small. That's funny. I had a great time with y'all. Thanks for joining us, and look forward to more bourbon podcast and hunting in the future. All right. Glad I could spend the morning with you guys. All right. Until Tuesday night, check out the Scotchy Bourbon Boys Thanksgiving podcast with Wild Turkey review of the brand with and Greg Schneider, former employee of Wild Turkey, gonna join us. All right. Cheers, everybody.